Newcastle 3, West Ham 1, and in my opinion, it's over. We're down. Like, it 20 minutes into the game, and it was game over. I don't think I've been as disgusted as this in a long time with the manager, with the players, mate. I feel sick to my stomach right now. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I think game over. I think that's it now. I think Tottenham will go and get the result they need in the next game. They've got all the motivation to go into that game against Chelsea now. Yeah, just need a point, and that's it. I don't know, mate. The starting lineup, even when I see that, he's going there to play defensive. Well, why? Just go for it. You've got to go for it, and you're starting with a back three, a back five, and you could see as soon as if you're going to play that formation, start with Tatty. You can't start with Callum Wilson in that formation. Tatty's going to run and run and run. Wilson ain't going to give you that. So it's just from the start, and you could see that it's like they knew they were relegated. It's like they couldn't even be bothered. The first 20 minutes, the amount of mistakes. I mean, the goalkeeper Hermanson, he can't even knock a 20-yard ball to his own player. Go long. Why are you trying to play it back? We're not fucking top of the league. We're not sitting pretty second in the league playing ticky-tacky football. Why are we trying to play it out like that? That is our downfall all season, and we're not going to look back at the Arsenal game next week and think, oh, that's the reason why. We're not going to look at today. We're going to look across the whole season. We've won 9 games all season. Drew 9. We deserve to go down. We're shit. We've given ourselves a little bit of fighting hope these last few weeks. But the last 3 games, when we really needed to step it up, all right, the Arsenal game, we showed a bit of fight. But apart from that, no, mate, we don't deserve it. And we deserve everything we're getting at the moment. The fans don't deserve it, but the fucking players do. Big players. Jared Bowen today, he should have been subbed off. What did he offer today? What did he offer as a captain? He's been missing. I know he got a couple of assists and all that, but he hasn't scored in 12 games. We need goals. We need to win games. And this is just like, you look at that team today and you think, they don't give a shit. They do not care. No, mate, someone said it earlier. I mean, is there any point sacking him tonight? What's it matter? But I don't want him there next season. Even if a miracle happens and we stay up, do not want him there.
No. The man's a coward. And I said it at Everton, and people came back and said, oh, look, see, he's still a coward, we won. But he is. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of seeing managers like this that, just cowards, just defensive when you don't need to be defensive, when today we had to win. And like you said, we're playing defensive and playing it out from the back. Make it make sense. You're inviting teams on, but then giving them opportunities by fucking having your goalkeeper pass out. We should have had Areola in this for this sort of thing. I mean, he's been in these battles before. He's a shot stopper. He's got that experience. Just dropping him out of the blue. Look, Hermanson had some clean sheets, but he had a better defence in front of him. Not that they really held themselves up in any esteem today. I mean, Mavropanos looked all over the place at the start. I don't know what these players were coming for.
The problem you got when you start with that, like back five, is you take a man out of the midfield and out the forward line, and that's where the battles are won and lost in football. And you're taking an extra man out. And Newcastle had so much space in that midfield in the first half. They were just gliding through. No one was even getting near him. You got Fernandes jogging about. I mean, how people talk about him being an £100 million player, fuck knows. Even the same with that other prat on the left, Juve. Once again,
he was so shit. Man.
Once again, all he does is either fall over or he gets his head down and just puts it in. He don't even know where he's putting it. Sometimes it comes off and everyone goes, "Oh, what a fucking ball!" New David Beckham. No, mate, he's not. He's nowhere near what people are touting him for. And these players have got to look at themselves. They've got to look at themselves and think they've let everyone down. They've let the fans down. They've let everyone connected with West Ham down. And they're a disgrace, honestly, mate. And the thing is, look, we might have a bit of luck. Look, Chelsea might go out and beat Spurs on Tuesday night. But I watched Everton earlier, and there's no way they're beating Tottenham. No way.
I
No
don't
way.
fancy us to beat Leeds. I don't
No,
see how we beat
that's what
Leeds.
I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think we'll get the result against Leeds, and that'll just be our luck. Everton are going to Tottenham will lose their next 2 games, and we won't even beat a Leeds team that are already got their. I mean, Leeds got a good 1-0 win. I think I'll have to look at the league table. I'm sure they might be able to sneak into the top 10 if results go their way.
Well,
What an incentive for them.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago we was talking about them maybe going down, and now they can finish in the top 10.
Yeah,
But
they can.
they've shown fight. Leeds have shown fight. Forest have shown fight. Even Tottenham in the past few games have shown that little bit of fight. Okay, they've got a new manager come in, but we ain't. And the business end of the season when we really need to show up and get results, and we haven't won in our last 3.
But we're the only team that got a defensive manager. We're the only one whose our answer was pragmatism. When Leeds, when they need to change, they changed it up, went 2 up top, and they started playing attacking, and they went for games. And Forest went for games. Like, we're the only team that's down there that's still doing this dinosaur bullshit. If you're in a relegation battle, play defensive. And where has it gotten us? Relegated. Like, I'm sick of it, mate.
The other one come on, Pablo. I mean, fucking hell.
Oh my God.
It was his fault for the 3rd goal. He was only been on the pitch 2 minutes. He's meant to come on to change the game. He ended up giving it away to Newcastle to get the 3rd goal. Look, people were buzzing about Tatty's goal. I couldn't give a shit about Tatty's goal, to be honest. I do not give a shit. It was good finish. Don't care. It don't mean nothing to me. Does not mean nothing to me. I mean, Tatty for me, he's got a lot of critics in the last couple of weeks, but I thought when he come on, do you know what? Even when he was running in and putting in tackles, he showed that he actually had a little bit of fight in him. But unfortunately, there was 9 or 10 other players out there that weren't on the same level as him. And
I think Somerville tried.
Somerville caused problems, but no end product. Same as Bowen. Bowen weren't even involved in the game. I don't even remember anything he really done.
No, I can't point out one thing.
Wilson, it's tough for Wilson, up top on his own. As soon as Tatty come on, it looked a little bit better. He was getting himself in good positions. But once again,
I can point out one thing Bowen did. Instead of playing, I think it was Tatty who was wide open. He shot a tame fucking shot at the keeper, just rolled it into the keeper when the man was wide open.
You're 2-0 down, and you've got your centre back Mavropanos trying to score a 30-yard screamer when there's players open on the edge of the box. You're a defender for a reason, mate. If you was that good from scoring out, you'd be up front. Once again, the back 4 just look. I felt a bit sorry for Tadibo when he come off, because what I'm thinking then is like Tadibo comes off at 2-0. If we get this back to 2-2, or a miracle happens and we manage to find ourselves 3-2 up, who's he going to bring on to put at the back? He'll have to bring Gilman on, because
This is the thing that, and I'll get to this.
Someone just said there, why am I slagging the players? Because the players are the ones that go on the field. The players are the ones that are fucking get us results. Who else am I supposed to slag off? You want me to sit here and slag Sullivan off? Sullivan ain't on the pitch. I'll save my slagging off Sullivan for another time. That's another story. I'm talking about the game today. Them players let us down
into the game.
Yeah, so I'm slagging off the players because they've let us down. You can't tell me that them players were good today, because if you do, you need to stop watching football, mate.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And that, just before I get to this super chat, that substitution of Tadibo off, it was just an admission that Nuno fucked up. When you have to 20 minutes in, you have to go and change the formation to what it should have been at the start after 2-0 down. You've just told the world that, look, I am a fucking idiot and I get it wrong. But it was too late then. 2-0 was too late. It was done by them, because we ain't been scoring, and we was never scoring 3 goals. Mate. And so, and that is, if not Nuno, then who?
Do you know what really frustrates? Go on, read that super chat.
No, he says, if not Nuno, then who? Fucking you! I'm not going to sit here and start listing out managers. And
I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's an hard one to do. But if you said to me tomorrow that Nuno's going to get sacked, and in the Championship you was going to give us Scott Parker, I'd take it. Because one thing with Scott Parker, he knows he's to get out of the Championship, and at least they'll have a bit of fucking passion. I hate it. Why do managers, when like Nuno, you go 2-0 down, and what's he doing? Sitting next to his assistant looking at a fucking iPad. to see if
Yeah.
get up on the fucking touchline and scream and shout at your goalkeeper for making a mistake.
Just give me. I'm sick of these drip managers with no personality, no fire, nothing about them. Give me a manager with something about them that I can get behind. I'm so sick of these managers. You're losing and they just sit there looking like they want to cry. Fuck off.
Yeah, but then again, managers can't shout at players now just in case they hurt their feelings. You know what I mean? It's fucking.
Just show a little bit of. I know people take the piss when you say passion and stuff, but show a bit of something. You know what I mean? And I don't care if we keep Bowen. Look, if we keep Bowen in the championship, I've slagged him off, but he'll probably be good in the championship. If he wants to go, goodbye. I don't care. I'm not gonna cry over any player that leaves. I'm not attached to any of them.
There's a lot of Spurs fans in this chat, and fair play to them, because if it was the other way around, I'd probably be on their stream, because they've got a huge opportunity now and we've handed it to them. All they need is a point on Tuesday night against Chelsea, a Chelsea team that have just lost the FA Cup final. Who knows what? I mean, when they announced that Xabi Alonso was taking over, I wish he was taking over on Tuesday. I hope he's sitting in the stands on Tuesday, just to give them a little bit of passion, a bit of fight. But I think Spurs will get the result. I think they'll get the result and we'll be relegated on Tuesday. Then next Sunday will just be like a piss up over London Stadium. You know what I mean?
That game, right? We're relegated going into that game. That needs to be. I want to see Burnley. I want to see Burnley scenes, right? I want to see march into the director's box. I want people booing them fuckers for 90 minutes. I don't want to see. I want them to feel it. I want them to feel it, like, because between all of it, like I said, the way we've been run as a club has been a joke. All the managers that we've had, there's been just pathetic with how they've run the club, and now the players all season have been pathetic, haven't stood up when it counted, and the manager has just been a coward. Graham was right all along. I think you mean Scott. 49 says in chat, Nuno is a complete dud. I owe him an apology as I thought he was wrong. I guess not. Sorry, Graham. I think you mean Scott.
Look, I've always, any manager that comes into this football club, you want to get behind because you want them to do well. But the thing is, it's like you look at, since David Moyes had left the club, we've had Lopetegui, Potter and Nuno, and we've gone so far backwards. This time 3 years ago, we was getting ready to go Prague in the European final. Now we're getting ready to the only European game where we play next season when we go to Wales.
No.
Fucking...
It all started from then, because we had that season, right? Okay, it was a shit season in the league. We won a trophy. We had a chance to take that and kick on. We sold Rice and we didn't replace him. We just signed a load of crap. That's all we did.
Like, when you look back at that season after, we brought in the likes of Kudus, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and we did sort of improve the squad. I know losing Rice was always going to be hard to replace, but then
there was no pace. We slowed the team down. We slowed us down, and
we finished ninth that season, and we got to the Europa League quarter-final. So it was still a decent season, but then we just went backwards. We just kept going backwards, and we employ, as we always do, cheap, out-of-work managers that are fucking useless. They're out of work for a reason. Go and get Lopetegui. He was useless. We go and get Potter. He was even more useless. And now we go and get Nuno, who... Yeah, look, he's had a long time. He come in. When was he employed? September. He's had a long time to get us out of this relegation battle, and we ain't. And look, we deserve it. We deserve to go down. We'll be shit. You know, I've seen more fighting Wolves than what we've been putting in a lot lately. You know, yeah, we had a purple patch where we was picking up results, and you think to yourself, oh, we might drag ourselves away. But every time we're given an opportunity, we don't take it. And that is the reason why we're down there. And look, I know that mathematically we're not relegated. You know, Spurs could lose their next two games, and if we beat Leeds, we stay up. But it's not going to. I can't see it happening, mate. As I said, Tottenham will get the result on Tuesday night, because now we've just given them their team talk. De Zerbi don't even have to say anything. He just goes, go out there and do the job.
They're going to play like their lives fucking depend on it. They're going to fight.
And what do we play like? We play like we're a mid-table team today who's getting ready to go on their holidays.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's fucking. We've played teams that should be on the beach, right? And Newcastle was one of them. None of them look like they was on the beach. We're the team that's fighting for something, and we've looked like we're on the beach in these games. It's so pathetic. Like when I look at Palace, disgusting. Today, disgusting. Like people were saying that was a good point. It was a fucking shit point. And it looks even worse now. $5 super chat. Arsenal fan, but I have a soft spot for West Ham United. What happened to guys like Ward-Prowse, Luis Guilherme, Alvarez? They were better than what you have right now. So the thing is, I actually sort of disagree. To the Guilherme had pace, Ward-Prowse slow, Alvarez had something about him, but that was the problem. Is the players that we have now are good in theory, but they just, I don't know, mate. They're spineless. That's what they are.
They are, mate. And they need to take a good look at themselves. As I said at the beginning, I mean, I know we're going to talk more about the game tomorrow on post match pint, but the performance today is not good enough. It's not good enough for a team that are fighting for their lives. You know, they all walk over to the end. You know, they know the cameras are on the players and they're looking up at the fans and they're doing the old hands on the hips, pretending they give a shit. They don't give a shit, mate. They probably were all laughing and joking. Disassy's standing there fucking laughing when one of the Newcastle players after swapping shirts.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Modern day football players, they don't care because they go down, the fans go down, but these players can leave the club and go and sign for other Premier League teams or other bigger teams in Europe. You know, they don't care. They don't care about. I'm not saying that the likes of Bowen don't care, because he's got, you know, a lot of love for this football club, but
he's just not been good enough, mate.
He's not been good enough. He's not been good enough. Like, I know he's had a few assists, but he's paid to score goals as well, and he hasn't scored in his last 12. I think was it Chelsea game? They said his last.
When's the last time you watched a game, right, and you've come away and gone, Bowen was man of the match today. Bowen was our best player today. Bowen through that game was fucking unreal today. I can't remember the last time. Like overall. No. You know, he's had them little moments where he's had a couple of assists here and there, which is, look, we're brilliant. If you can get an assist, great. But to watch him and go, fucking hell, Bowen today was brilliant. Like, I can't recall. Thank you, mate. Sullivan even tried to pay off refs. Do you know what? We didn't even talk about that, actually. I know he's bantering there, but they should have had a pen, Newcastle. That was a handball. Souček moves his hand towards the ball, like his hand's there, and he moves his hand towards the ball.
Yeah, I think the nudge in the back from Harvey Barnes is obviously, you know, we're seeing it in slow motion, but in real play, yeah, it could have been given. But then I see the game earlier, Man United, where the geezer literally trapped the ball in between his hip and his arm. They scored from it, and the ref went to look at the screen, and he overruled VAR. VAR said it shouldn't have been disallowed, and then he's give the goal. So
no one knows what the handball rule is anymore.
I think it would have been a bit harsh on Souček. I don't think he's meant to like do it, but I don't know. To be honest, mate, I don't really give a shit. That's the way I feel. I don't care. Yeah. Even like Tatty, I said about Tatty's goal. Tatty's a brilliant finish, something that probably none of us are expecting him to do. But I can't celebrate. I can't even cheer it. You know, it means nothing to me, that goal.
Yeah, same. My reaction when you on the watch on, you go and see it. I was like, wow, but I didn't celebrate. I was like, wow, what a goal, brilliant, great. But you know, there was no excitement in my reaction. Shout out to Ms. Edward with 499 super chat. Hello, fellas. The history of this nightmare board. I can only see them appointing Sean Dyche cheap, and that's the fucking thing, innit? Like, and it will just be another one of these type of managers. Yeah, it's Sean Dyche.
It will be. It'll be a Sean Dyche. It'll be a Scott Parker. It'll be someone out of work. So whoever's out of work at the moment as a manager, if you fancy a job at West Ham, send your CV in, and I'm sure you'll have a job in the Championship next season, trying to get this fucking shambles of a football club back into the Premier League from top to bottom. It's a shambles. The only good thing about this football club is the fans. You know, them fans that have gone up there today, you know, still singing when we're 3-1 down, just shows you what this club means to these fans. And the players have let us down. You know, 9 wins all season. It ain't good enough. That's why we're going down.
Yeah, 100%, mate. That's what it comes down to. And we're going to have to come back up straight away, otherwise we are fucked. Like, and that's it. Like, and
I can't even see that, mate. I can't even see that.
all we got to hope for, mate, is the silver lining is it leads to a change in ownership. Like, that's it. That's the one positive we can just hope, is that we get new ownership in and we can rebuild. Right, because if Sullivan's still here, mate, we're not going anywhere. Right, nothing's changing. You know, and it's just a sad state of affairs that we blew up Upton Park for this. You know, that's it's fucking mad. Batista fucking blew up our fucking stadium for this. Shocking. Oh God, mate, it's a sickness. So we just got to hold our breaths until Tuesday and hope we get another lifeline.
Oh mate, I don't. Do you know what? I don't even think we deserve a lifeline.
No,
I hope Tottenham just get the job done on Tuesday. If because I don't want it to go down to that last game of the season. Can you imagine what it'd be like being their last game of the season? Imagine, just say for instance, if Leeds turn up and Leeds are shit on the day, and we end up managing to get a result against Leeds, and then Tottenham go and beat Everton, and we go down. Like, I'd rather it just be sorted now.
put us out.
Wish it was sorted fucking weeks ago.
You know what the fucking thing I bet like if Spurs get a result on Tuesday, we're down, we go and beat Leeds when it means nothing. That will piss me off even more.
That's always the way, mate. It's always the way. But
yeah,
let's just see what happens. It's all in the hands of the football gods now. We've been saying this since fucking December, mate. Early January. Relying on other teams. This is wild because we've had so many opportunities over the last 6 weeks to pull away or drag other teams into this relegation battle, and we just bottle it, and that's what we are. We've bottled it this season. We're bottle jobs, and yeah, unfortunately, as I said, we'll be playing Championship football next season.
Yeah, deservedly so. And look, whatever. I just want to get this season. This has been the longest season. Like, we've been in this relegation battle all fucking season. And I just want it over. I just, one way or another, just put us out of our misery. Like, it's been horrible, mate.
I'm sure Spurs will do that on Tuesday night. They'll get the point they need.
Yeah,
probably better. They'll probably get the 3 points.
Yeah, it's the way it is now, and we'll really sit down in the season and dissect it and talk about what it means for the future and at the end of the season. But I would say I'm gonna go and try and forget about the game, but I've got to edit God knows how many fan cams and then do another show talking about this shit. So yeah, do try and just don't let it ruin your fucking week, guys. Just forget about it. Anything else you got going on, just
football. I stopped letting football ruin my weekends and weeks a long time ago, mate. Because these players don't care, why should we? So done. We've lost. I'll move on. I'll enjoy the rest of my evening. I'll enjoy the rest of my week, and I'll be going to that game next Sunday and just enjoying seeing people, because that's what it's about now at football. Going to see people and enjoying your day out, because what we're getting served up on the pitch ain't enjoyable. So yeah, let's leave it out.
Yeah, well said, mate. Well said. So yeah, listen, thanks everyone for watching. Listen, I know we had a load of people trolling us, but it is what it is.
We deserve it. We deserve it. I'm blaming you.
Yeah, and that's what happens. We deserve it. And listen, everyone else, thank you all the super chats, everyone else. Appreciate yous, and look out for the fan cams. We'll be back for post-match pint tomorrow. Okay, jerseys, scan QR code, all of that stuff. Yeah, thank you all for watching. One thing left to say, come on, you irons.